What's going on, YouTube stackers? As you know, gold and silver are both off to terrific starts in 2024, up over 10% each, overcoming a stronger US dollar, which normally holds the price down, and the continual kicking of the rate cut can by the US Federal Reserve. Now, gold also competes with cash investments, right? Safe haven investments, and those cash investments do yield over 5% today, given the current interest rate environment. But yet gold and silver, they're doing quite well. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how I'm stacking gold and silver for the remainder of the year, and also how I'm speculating coming right up. "2023 was a relatively boring year for gold and silver, with very few price movements in the spot price. The lack of dramatic price action, outside of a few pops and drops in silver, was pretty hard to understand given the increased levels of inflation experienced globally. I think it was about once per day I would see a comment about why is the price going down with inflation so high. And 2024 looked even more sour for silver until we crept into late February and the market began to heat up with large-scale reserve bank buying and strong physical gold demand in China. Large population there, folks. So congrats to all of those who have been stacking, as you're probably in a pretty good spot right now. And I believe we will have more success ahead with eventual Federal Reserve interest rate cuts. They keep talking about them, but when they come, that'll cheapen the dollar. Now, here is how I'm stacking and speculating on gold and silver over the next 6 months, and it all starts with these 10-ounce silver bars and quarter-ounce gold coins. I find 10-ounce silver bars and fractional quarter-ounce gold coins to be the sweet spot for my budget when it comes to monthly stacking. Now, I love 10-ounce bars as I find their price point affordable, and for most as a monthly purchase, okay? So something you could save for once a month, a big chunk of silver to put in your stack, and honestly, they're quite easy to protect. Now, gold has a much higher value per gram than silver, meaning saving in gold coins is another way to put $600 or more away in a very, very small package. Now, American stackers like myself could benefit by buying foreign quarter-ounce gold coins with their lower premiums over spot than comparably weighted American Gold Eagles. You can usually save around 5% by going with foreign. Now, with increasing economic pressures on households around the globe, and that's a fact, it's not an opinion, not all stackers can afford a $2,400 purchase for a 1-ounce gold coin and prefer fractional sizes that fit their stacking budgets. And as I mentioned, my goal is about $1,000 per month, so I'm one of them. Just one of these fractional quarter-ounce gold coins carries $600 or more in value as the spot price does change, and that's more savings than the average American savings account in just under 8 grams of gold. Commodities have entered a bull market, and some might disagree. There'll always be naysayers. I'm sure there's a comment already, but all-time highs in the price of gold are usually a sign of bullish activity, okay? So if you're waiting for $1,600 or $1,500 gold, I hope you're patient. That brings me to today's sponsored content, and our video sponsor is RUA Gold, a publicly traded gold mining company operating in historically high-grade producing areas of New Zealand. New Zealand has a long-standing history of opposition to mining, and that's due to public concern for mining's impacts on the environment. However, political change in the country is afoot, and New Zealand did elect a center-right government led by Christopher Luxon back in 2023, and immediately this party encouraged and supported mining's renewal across the country. Well, gold was first discovered by European settlers in New Zealand back in the mid-1800s on the Northern Island, and around a decade later again on the Southern Island. The natives of New Zealand had long known of its existence but found no value for gold until the arrival of European settlers. By 1870, however, large mining companies were present on both islands, but by 1920, the New Zealand gold rush was mostly over and has remained mostly over up until now. Okay, this is where it gets interesting and also opportunistic for those that are paying attention. Technological advancements in deep drilling since the 1920s are innumerable. The forgotten gold mines of New Zealand have recently been permitted for deep drilling by the newly elected government, and RUA has been quietly purchasing historical gold mining claims that have been untested at depths for years, all right? They've been acquiring this portfolio for the last few years, and while this political landscape was changing in New Zealand, RUA continued to explore. They continued to take over 16,000 soil samples, conducted UAV geophysics, 3D modeling, and over 30 different drill samples. Now, these samples show high-grade gold mineralization at various depths across several properties. These grades exceed 12 to 15 times the global average, resulting from decades of inactivity mining gold on the islands of New Zealand. The southern island is a cream puff at depth, having not been disturbed for much of the last century, and these are known gold-producing areas that we're going to get deeper down into soon. The permits to get down there for this additional drilling are already secured, and drilling is taking place across both islands this year. Several years of advanced exploration on the southern island across the Reefton gold field does put RUA Gold within 2 years of gold production, with modern technological drilling leading to the development of 4 underground shafts that will soon supply a single gold mill. To put that another way, RUA continues with its exploration, sampling, and drilling, all sorts of activity going on to expand the company's scope, but will also become a gold-producing company that generates revenue very soon, and that's a big deal, folks. Okay, up on the northern island of New Zealand, the Hauraki goldfield hosts high-grade gold and silver as well. Now, this region has previously provided the world with 15 million ounces of gold and roughly 60 million ounces of silver. RUA's recent acquisition of the Glamorgan in the Hauraki goldfield has provided some pretty positive soil samples for gold and silver, but this area has yet to be actively drilled. RUA's gold mining approach and portfolio of projects is pretty forward-thinking, led by CEO Robert Eckfert and Chief Operating Officer Simon Henderson. RUA's portfolio consists of near-term production mines on the southern island to more speculative locations where analysis is continuing to take place on the northern island. Billion-dollar OceanaGold recently discovered 1 million ounces at 16 grams per ton. 16 grams per ton, that's very high grade in the ground just 3 kilometers away from the Glamorgan site, okay? So not too far. Now, Simon Henderson, once more Chief Operating Officer, the guy responsible for conducting operations at all these different sites, he is previously of Newmont Gold, and he made several discoveries on the North Island before Newmont sailed to OceanaGold. So Simon's vast experience in the area provides another advantage for RUA, considering his past discoveries and experience in the area. He knows the place quite well. So what makes RUA interesting to me is the timing of all this. While the political climate wasn't favorable for mining, RUA was doing all of its research, making purchases, and preparing for what we're seeing today. So coupled with the recent permissions to drill at these previous known producing gold sites at depth, we know the gold has always been there. Politics got in the way of that for almost a century, and that has changed. RUA has already established a valuable portfolio of production and speculative sites across both islands. That's what really excites me here. All right, for additional information on RUA Gold, please see the video description section for links to projects, recent news, the leadership team, and a whole lot more. As you know, gold is in a bull market. Physical gold prices now exceed $2,400 per ounce with spot and premiums combined, and we've still yet to see that Federal Reserve rate cut that, historically speaking, could push gold's price into next level territory. Now, I will personally be stacking and holding physical metal as I have for years as savings and security. It's probably the most enjoyable hobby that I can think of that also benefits your financial situation. And when it comes to speculating, taking a chunk of my leftover cash to speculate for larger gains during this hot market in precious metals, I think RUA Gold looks like an interesting opportunity for further exploration, and I wouldn't want to miss out on that. So thank you all for viewing today's video. I'm curious to know what you think of 10-ounce silver bars and quarter-ounce fractional gold. Also curious to know if you're speculating a little during this bull market and what stocks you might be looking at. I hope you found today's video informative and maybe even educational, and I do thank you for supporting Florida Stacker on YouTube and wish you all a very wonderful day.
Thank you for watching our video. I hope you subscribe to our YouTube channel.